and it's never led me wrong. And I still do it to this day. I think I do it literally on a daily basis. Happy Friday, my loves. It's literally the middle of Fashion Week, and I thought I'm going to put in this video now because when you think about it, it's all about what is going down the runway, and it's all very luxe, but it's all designers, which I love to see. But I never want to lose sight of the fact that you can look luxe and you do not have to spend. And I have some really, really cool pieces to show you. I think that goes to the core of what personal style is all about in the first place. It really is about being a magpie shopper and to be able to shop from all different areas and mix it together. And we all know that fall is my favorite time of the year, as it is for a lot of you as well. So I've got some really great pieces to show you, including in partnership with Quint. I had not heard of Quint until recent. You know when they say that term elevated basic? This is actually elevated as well as being the basics, the essentials, the core part of your full wardrobe. So I picked out some pieces that makes the most sense, but I'm going to go through all of them. So let's run through them in no particular order. First off, always believe that there's certain tricks that involves being able to not try too hard at looking expensive. And they're things that I kind of instinctively do and have learned over the years. And so I just want to kind of make this video about that with you. Number one, tailoring. I know that this one is something that's been like hammered over your head, that if you have something that just fits you just right, it just sits right on your shoulders. To me, that is like the masterclass in anything. You could have found it from literally from a thrift shop, but it's just the way it hangs on your body, and that literally boils down to tailoring. I've always thought it's easier to get something that's slightly bigger than you because it's easier because you've got more material in it, so you can tailor it to be fitting you, to fit you better. Good example of this actually, I bought a coat. They have that drop shoulder look and they kind of just curve off, and they've always looked kind of sloppy on me. And there's a difference between looking cool oversized and looking sloppy. And they've always like kind of, it's bothered me when I look at them. But then I think about other things that I've got in my wardrobe, like a Dior trench, and I put it on and I found that on consignment and it fits. It's the fact that it fits nicely off my shoulders. It looks so much more flattering. I think it makes you look more proportionate to your body shape because it feels more timeless. And it also doesn't have to be as literal as tailoring. It could just be little things that you're doing. It could be like, you know, just rolling up the sleeve of like your shirt so it just has that kind of custom look, whether it's trenches as well and jackets. That's why you always see like people doing an elastic band trick and they kind of like ruche up their blazers and stuff, because it gives that illusion of just feeling like lived in, like carefree, effortless, chic. It's like these little sort of unconscious, maybe conscious things that are done from a stylist point of view, and they always work to make something look more luxe than what it normally is. Be that just like cinching your blazer or cinching a coat, a jacket, which I think is going to be something we're going to see more of during this season anyway, because I'm seeing like a return to like the definition of the waist. But when you cinch something, sometimes it can give this kind of feel of something just looking a bit more you and a bit more like you made it yourself. The coat and the jacket is no longer wearing you. You are wearing it. You're styling it. You're taking ownership of it in a way that looks luxe. And I think these little styling tricks like cinching, rolling up of the sleeves, tailoring little pieces. Tailoring is, I don't even have to tell you, it's one of the number ones, 100%. You can argue about buying designer because you don't necessarily have to in order to get something that's luxurious or that's well made. You can find well made pieces at all different price points, and that's exactly what Quint is all about. Now, I picked out some pieces from them and I understand their ethos. For example, I'm actually wearing 2 pieces from them, but I'm going to get into that in a minute. That's why I love picking pieces from Quint. By the way, these brown, I mean, look at these. These brown, not black, brown leather looking trousers. They don't believe that you have to spend, you know, an arm and a leg in order to get good quality. I mean, you know that, I know that. Picked out a few pieces. I'm going to show you what they have. I actually looked further into like their policies and stuff. For a start, they have a 365-day return policy. Basically year-round window to return. But that's how good they are. They stand by their name and they stand by what they produce. So let's just start with what I'm wearing. This knit is one of those pieces that's going to see me through the whole of fall and winter. I did recently a purge. So I'm only keeping now the pieces that feel and are quality to me. This is 100% going to be in my wardrobe. It's got that beautiful kind of warm kind of, it's coming out as usual, it's a bit brighter than it actually is in person, but it's a kind of a brown / taupe oatmeal color. Perfect to go with anything that's navy, camels and cream colors. It's going to go with, obviously it's going to go with black, it's going to go with brown. Burgundy is going to look really amazing with, and I have something from Quint which is burgundy. It's super soft as well. They will always stand you the test of time in your wardrobe because they're classics and they're not going to just date. That's why I like them as well. They have pieces that are timeless, because it's when it's timeless, it forms a capsule of your wardrobe. And that's what I want this part of the video to be about. You can get your trend here and there to style with it, but that core, those elevated premium basics, that is what you want to hold on to, because then you will have something to wear. You don't have to have that whole saying of, oh, what am I going to wear this fall and winter? You could always step back into your basics, and they don't date, and that's the main part, and they go with everything else that's in your wardrobe as well. Good. The fit on it is perfect. It goes in at the back, and you know how I am about that. I'm always like, yeah, but does it going to leave that annoying gate? It goes in, it fits, and it's also a little bit cropped as well on the leg, so it's going to be like perfect for me to wear with like any of my pieces. It allows for the shoe moment. That's what I'm trying to say. It's got that cropped ankle so that I can wear like a sock with a loafer or any kind of shoe. Oh my goodness. Burgundy skirt. Now, you know how much I love slip dresses, slips, satins. I love that for the fall. That juxtaposition of something silky with something like knitted. And look at the length. I'm 5'7". It's so hard for me to, I think I sized up though, because I wanted it to fit this long so that I could wear like a heeled boot. And if the material of this is right, which it is, it makes it just feels luxe, it looks luxe. Look at that sheen. Imagine it with like a burgundy lip. I mean, I've got a dark lip on, but a darker lip, like a nice dark winter lip. And you've got this on. This is the kind of stuff that will never date. None of you can say that I'm wearing trendy things. Another thing I like, which you don't hear so much about with companies, I feel, is there's a transparency to them as well. So they're letting you know the supply chain of like what things cost, the materials, and that's something that's like hidden from customers' eyes, but they share it with you, which I think is absolutely fantastic. They cut out the middleman, so it's like factory direct to customer. They pass that saving on to you, because everyone should have access to nice things. I already know that this burgundy skirt is going to be in my wardrobe for a very, 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 very long time. The idea of also, even during the springtime, just wearing this of like flip-flop, super long, just feels super chic. It just reads more expensive, I feel like, when it's in a longer length. And the quality of this, it just feels nicer, you know, because it is. Whenever I wear t-shirts, I always get messages on Instagram, where's that t-shirt from? A good basic t-shirt is, it sounds corny to say, but it truly is the foundation of your wardrobe. If you can do a t-shirt well, it's like going to a restaurant if they do the table bread really well, but that's another story. But if they can do a t-shirt really, or fries, if they can do a t-shirt really well and do the cut correctly, that's why I took a black and the white, because I really love the fit of these. It's exactly the fit that I would want. It's not baggy, but it's not tight. It's very difficult to find that right Goldilocks in the middle point to me with t-shirts. As a layering piece, which I wear underneath knits as well. But from home, I'm always just, my uniform is wearing a good t-shirt. Another thing I like is that I always try to use like organic materials whenever possible. Environmentally conscious packaging as well. So it's all these kind of things together with the ethical, transparency of cutting out the middleman so the costs are less. These kind of practices are things I want to see happen more and more. The little black dress version for outerwear, which is the black coat. I loved the length of this one, which is why I chose it, and this collar. Now, this collar, I believe, is supposed to be like this. Right? Simple rounded collar. It's just that perfect peacoat-y type of length. Transition. This is perfect for right now because the weather in New York, one day it's really warm, but then the next day it's surprisingly cool again. It's that kind of up down. I just took one of Michael's belts, but look at this. With this timeless, chic. See what I'm saying? These simple, this is why when you have good basics, they will see you through. Oh, and by the way, they do free shipping. I literally created a capsule wardrobe and everything is slotting into each other. I want to let you know in the description box, everything that I got, premium pieces. It don't cost one of these and one of these. Before any of the sizes that you want are gone, I will leave the links in the description box for you. And thank you, Quint, for sponsoring this part of the video. So the rest of what I want to talk about. If you have been a long-time subscriber of this channel, you already know how I feel about camels and any kind of neutral color, right? They are, some can say, oh, it's boring, but in the right shade of camel, because there's camel, which is too light and it looks kind of washed out. You want a rich, luxe looking camel. Do you know what I mean? And if you're wondering why there's a camel that appears every time I say the word camel, please, as I've always said, actually, this is a good test. If you're an OG subscriber, comment below, whoever says, why is she putting a camel on the screen? Let them know. I'm going to be checking after this video. I'm going to look in the comments and see who's going to answer whoever says, why is she showing a camel on the screen every time she says that word? Whoever answers that, I'm looking to see, because that tells me that you're an OG subscriber. And if you're not a subscriber, why have you not subscribed yet? It doesn't cost a thing to subscribe, but it helps my channel. And I am, by the way, working on what everyone is wearing in New York. I know, shocker. I've shot about 8 people so far. Subscribe to my channel, because whenever I do drop that video, don't come running to me and say, why is Karen not doing any more episodes? Well, I made it and you wasn't subscribed, so you missed it. Outside of camel tones, because everybody knows about the power of that color, pick the right shade, rich luxe tones. There is something about it that shifts the perception. Yes, everyone knows that I personally love jewel tones. There is a reason why I chose that burgundy skirt. There's a reason why I choose jewel tones and mention them so often, especially during the fall, because they truly do add a depth to everything else that you wear. So if you love wearing browns, I'll just reach for this one, but there's so much. This with that skirt that I just showed you, that burgundy skirt, a bottle green, navy, richness to everything you have that shifts that perception and makes things look a lot more expensive than what it is. And if there's anyone here who is shocked by what I'm going to say next, I'm actually going to be semi-annoyed with you, because that means that you haven't been paying attention to the videos that I've been doing talking about this very thing. And this is a personal trick that I like to do. I like checking for single-breasted or double-breasted coats, but I go to the men's because there is a cut. They deliberately make the fabrics thicker. And when the fabric is thicker, it tends to read as more expensive. And sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. But to me, a cheat sheet way to do that is, say if you're in, I don't know, just pick a shop that you like to go to on a high street, but go to the men's section. Check the women's first. Put me to the test. Check a like for like, apples to apples. A single-breasted coat in the women's section, and then go check a single-breasted coat in the men's section. Heck, bring that women's coat over to that section. Tell me what the quality is like between the two. I bet you the men's one is better. I bet you it's thicker. I bet you there's something in it. The color is more classic. They'll give us something like a faffy yellow because they think, oh, because that's what women want to wear. You know, because women we like to generally, I'm generalizing when I say women, but we in general like to follow the trends. And for the men, they are slower. They're in terms of, like, not slower in the brain, but they're slower speed in terms of wanting to shop that way. And they shop on a practical level. So they're looking for things that's going to really stand the test of time. So they're functional shoppers, that's it, versus emotional. So they're going to look for that, something that's gray, something that's black, maybe possibly navy, something they know is going to be timeless, will go with everything. Go and check them out. That's where you need to look and compare it to the women's section. Come back here and tell me what you found. That's my homework for you. 100% one way to get a more expensive look to pieces that you've got. People don't always say, but I think should always be said. Swap the laces of your sneakers. Swap the laces of your brogues. Swap the buttons of your coats and jackets. Snip those suckers off and just find really cool buttons. Heck, put brooches on there. Pin brooches along. You know I love brooches. Find really cool button ones or ones that look like a hybrid between being a brooch and being a button, and put those on instead. You've instantly made that jacket look way cooler. It could just be a blazer that has one button, but that button is like throwing you off. Change it. Or maybe it's just making the piece look dated. Change it. That's such an easy thing to do. And it's going to look so much more luxe, and watch the compliments you're going to get. The more unique the buttons are, the more cool your outfit is going to be. This is what I call the invisible expensive. And this applies year round. And it's just something about the way you carry yourself. I know it seems like it might be a bit of a reach, but I've actually seen it in action. When somebody feels truly comfortable in the look that they're wearing, it's not even that it necessarily reads as expensive, but it reads that they are at ease with the way they are dressed. And there is something very effortlessly cool about that. When somebody looks uncomfortable in what they have on, it looks like the clothes are wearing them. There is no effortlessness to that. There is something to me that just reads as being like, she knows or he knows their own style. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're wearing expensive things. It's how they're carrying themselves and the way they are. This is a good one. It's a no-brainer, but why not put it in? But for example, accessories. The power of accessories, it knows no bounds. I will wear the most inexpensive jeans and a t-shirt and just dress it up with the right shoes or the right sunglasses, the right shades. All of a sudden, your look looks super cool. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be, maybe I picked the wrong ones. It's the accessories. Pick quality accessories. Invest in those. A good quality bag. Good sunglasses or a pair of optical glasses. Prescription glasses that look cool. Take out the lens of any of like cool, invest in a good pair of designer glasses that look really good on you. Get the opticians and put your prescription in. Instantly, cool factor. You've got a sense of your own personal style just by doing those little things. My goodness, the right belt. The right belt will take you everywhere. When you put the right belt on and invest in the right belt, do you know how far it's going to take your look? I don't even need to explain. I'm actually turning to you. Look at me, I'm turning away. Like, do you know how far that's going to take your look? It's not even funny how much it's going to affect your wardrobe. The handle strap of a bag alone can transform the look. Look, I bought this recently, this bag. And this strap I've had for a while. I have it in black and I have it in white. Can I tell you how it just, to me, transforms a bag? Anything that has like really good hardware on it. I remember I got one of these for Paula as a gift. She wears it ad nauseum on her bags, and it makes her bag look even more expensive than what it is. It's the strap. These are the little, I hope you take all these into account, all these little gems, because they are. These little things, the belt, the bag strap. The bag strap is one people don't really talk about, and I'm really proud to be the one talking about it because I truly believe that they really do make a difference to a bag. So that is super easy, one way to transform and make just your bag alone, your accessory, look more expensive than what it is. It looks more unique as well. Need I go on? Go up a size. Just do that. Go up a size. Skimming feels better than clinging. I think everything I buy, I tend to, unless it's something I want to be like the right size, I go up. Because anything I find that looks like it's a bit more skimming, looks more flattering, it hangs better. You're turning your body into a hanger. And that in itself reads as looking more kind of elevated. I think that's the best way to describe it. Another thing I do is I get longer line skirts and dresses. Anything that really goes further down. It's got to be calf and below my calf preference. Brands that are more expensive, they tend to make those pieces longer because there's something very flattering and chic and timeless about that cut, that length. Same with trousers. When it's slightly too long, so it almost like pulls a little, that to me reads as a little bit more expensive. It could be like a wide cut trouser. And if it just like hits that floor, so you have to like pick it up like that, that to me reads as more expensive. Yes, you can get it tailored. Talking about perception here. When I buy a trouser and I wear it, like they message me, oh, where'd you get that trouser? They're super surprised. It's only because I went up a size and I wanted it to have that long cut, that long look. That slouchy, longer line tends to read as more expensive. If you're on a shorter side, then obviously either you can shop in the petite section. If you can't, invest, get it tailored, put on the shoe that you most likely will wear with that trouser, take yourself over to the tailor. Expecting a shop to be like only catered to you and to you only and have everything you've always wanted is not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not. Get that one excellent, really well-made quality trouser, hangs amazingly, it pulls, but you're like, oh, that's too long for me. Take it to the tailor and get that thing so it hits right. You don't want to see skin. It's that movement when you walk. These things matter. That's why material and quality of materials matter. It's all about how it looks, the feel, it's that fluidity. You want that. That is the magic. That's where you find that perception of what is expensive and what is not comes into play. It's never about budget. It's never about how much you've got. Style never costs a lot. Fashion can, but style doesn't. And there is a massive difference between the two. So shop smarter, style yourself smarter as well. And I think that's the overarching message. Logos, don't think you need to have them in order to look expensive. If you buy items, a bag, for example, or clothing, and it has like logos all over it, that it's going to make you look expensive. So funny because you'll buy that expensive thing that has logos all over it, and it does the exact opposite as probably intended. It can look cheap. And we're talking about vintage as well. I think, especially the way things are going with quite luxury, it's not about the logos anymore. I think we all understand that, right? I just don't think they can date. And if it is all over something, it tends to be in a color that's neutral and it goes with everything else. So it kind of like, it doesn't date. That's what I'm looking for. It's something that's been around for a very, very, very long time, probably decades. It doesn't date. It's from the archive even. So it's one of those that has proven itself over time. So then, and if I personally like it, okay, different story. But generally speaking, stay away from logos. They won't give you that expensive look that you think you're going to get. It's much better to just get a quality bag, something that's less expected. Something that, it just reads as looking like a good quality, made bag. How many times can I say, that just will slot in with whatever you're wearing because you're wearing it in a neutral color and it just has a very interesting shape to you. But the fact is, it's a quality leather. Quality will always win. You're thinking really long term. And I think that's really the point of this video. This is one that I realized a few years ago when I checked myself, Karen, you do this. It's what I call the 2-color rule, where I only tend to wear 2 colors in an outfit, or I'll wear 3, but you will very rarely see me do 4 or 5. 2 to 3, one color that's in different shades of each other. You're wearing things in that same color wheel, that same color family. It's always about how you shop. When you shop around one color and just pick a tone, either lighter and darker, of that same color, read as looking more chic. Because it makes your eye go all the way up and all the way down on an outfit. You're not breaking it up. Many different things, and it's creating like a giant patchwork of colors on you. I've always done that. Don't even realize. When I get dressed, I've realized that's what I'm doing. I don't like things to cut me in half. I like to feel like it's all one length. It's all one way. And wearing things that's one color or 2 colors or one color but a variation of that one color, that's the fastest way to create that look. And I've been a long-term believer in that, what I call the 2-color rule, or the 3. And it's never led me wrong. And I still do it to this day. I think I do it literally on a daily basis. Those are my tips. Full dressing that is going to feel just a bit more luxe, a bit smarter, so that next time you're out shopping or the next time you're pulling, you're picking pieces that already work with each other. You don't have to keep saying, I've got nothing to wear, because you found those, I hate to say it, but elevated basics. Finding those pieces that just work, knowing where to invest and where you don't have to invest, right? And just putting those two together, you're mixing and you're coming up with your own style. And on that note, do not forget to shop the Quince pieces. I'll leave everything in the description box. Thanks. Let me know what you pick out before anything goes. I want you to get your size in these pieces. Like I said, I love that massive window of return they have. It's free shipping. You have nothing to lose. Well, Karen, I don't have that money to look that good. It's never been about that. It's never. All the sizes that I picked are in the description box. Let me know what you get. If you do, while you're watching this video, this is the madness of New York Fashion Week. I'm literally in it now. The day you're watching this video going up, which is a Friday, I have a show that I am going to. I'm not sure what time this video will going up. It's probably going to go up in the morning. So if you want to see, like, come with me kind of behind the scenes, you can probably see it on my Instagram first, in my stories. Check it out, because I'm going to try as much as I can during this fashion week in New York to show you a lot of behind the scenes, me getting dressed, what I'm thinking about wearing, the makeup. I've already started doing it, for little snippets of it from going out already during fashion week, this whole week. And I want to keep doing that, because I think it's nice to show like the insidery bits. I will do like a proper vlogs of it. But if for now you want to get like a little sneak peek in advance, that's the quickest place to see it. And sometimes I might ask you quick questions anyway, so you'll be able to help me out. But that is it. And I will talk to you next week, Friday. And like I said, I'll be on Instagram and on TikTok between this Friday and the next. Take care, my loves.